After JNU and Delhi University, it's Jamia Millia now, where the row over freedom of speech and expression has shifted. BJP leader Shazia Ilmi alleges she was barred from speaking on the issue of triple talaq by the university. This happened on the 16th of February. The event was then rescheduled for the 28th of the month, and interestingly this time, changes were made in the list of speakers. Not just this, even the topic of discussion, which earlier was triple talaq, was now changed to the more vague one of problems faced by Muslim women. This event was marked by protests as organizers did a ramjas on the BJP and RSS leaders who were to speak on triple talaq. The organizers claimed that they were under pressure by the varsity administration and allegedly said that the BJP leaders could not be allowed to speak on campus because they could create trouble.
Azadi chants echoing. Violence putting the nation to shame. Slogan was gaining momentum yet again. Campuses meant for exchange of ideas are slowly turning into ideological ghettos. If the Ramjas campus rage was not enough to highlight the uncivilized turn campus debates have taken, let's take you to Jamia Millia Islamia University, not very far away. A frenzied row on free speech and nationalism knocked on the doors of Jamia, where BJP leader and university alumni Shazia Ilmi was barred from speaking. This at a seminar meant to discuss the controversial triple talaq on February 16th. The event was then rescheduled for February 28th and the list of speakers changed. Not just that, the agenda too was scaled down from a straightforward discussion on the instant divorce practice.
Apparently there was such a lot of pressure on the organizers. There were close to hundreds of students who actually got together, put so much pressure in front of the seminar area where I was to enter to prevent me from going there.
कल हमारा कार्यक्रम हुआ है 28 को और इसमें हमने कुछ स्पीकर्स को चेंज किया है। पहले जो स्पीकर्स हमारे थे और पहले जो हमारा मुद्दा था, जो विषय था वहाँ का, वो 3 तलाक का था। उस सेंसिटिव है, इसको देखते हुए हम लोगों ने जो टॉपिक था उसे चेंज करके मुस्लिम वुमेन एम्पावरमेंट कर दिया।
Even then, disruptions culminating in sloganeering marred the event.
There's this invitation card which is right here. There is no name of Shazia Ilmi being on the panel. There are 2 other women. They were also not there. She was also not there. So this allegation holds completely false.
A barred Shazia Ilmi asked, what about her right?
Umar Khalid and Sheila Rashid have all the azadi for abhivyakti, for expression. What happens to freedom of expression in my case when I want to express my views on a particular subject?
किसी भी इंसान को देश के किसी भी हिस्से में अगर बोलने से रोका जाता है, मैं उसका समर्थन नहीं करता हूं, क्योंकि ये हमारा एक फंडामेंटल राइट है। लोगों को बोलने दिया जाना चाहिए, वो अपना पोजीशन रखें। हम उससे असहमत हो सकते हैं, उसका हम विरोध कर सकते हैं, लेकिन किसी को भी बोलने से नहीं रोका जाना चाहिए।
There seems to be no end to this debate. But an important question rings in the heads of everyone. If campuses are melting pot of ideas, shouldn't everyone, be it left or the right, have equal space? Bureau Report, India Today.
Okay, so why is there no freedom for Shazia Ilmi to enter another university? Dr. Manoj Jha, who's the national spokesperson for the RJD and is himself a professor of the Delhi University, is joining us on 8 p.m. now, as is Priyanka Chhabri. She's the vice president of the ABVP. Manoj Jha, would you like to start by answering that? Is this not reeking of complete intolerance for a contrarian point of view?
I'll tell you, right from morning, in fact afternoon, lots of television channels and ANI came to me, and I said it very clearly, and I repeat that stopping anyone in expressing his or her mind, that shows India, I'm not talking about government, in a very poor light. I think if Shazia Ilmi is stopped, that speaks very badly about the kind of democracy and the democratic civitas or the conversation, what we want in this country. There is no dispute about it. Let me make it very clear. Number two, I must also add, I don't know why, in last few months, I would say, nation and government, they have become synonymous with each other. These are two different entities. Let's be very clear about it. I love my nation, but you cannot force me to love my government. If I speak about human rights violation by my government and its agency, and not only this government, even the previous government, please don't call me that I'm anti-national.
No. Okay, so Manoja, let's keep the two issues separate. We will debate the second issue also, but purely on the issue of Shazia Ilmi. While it sounds great that you say that everyone has the right to express their opinion, it is a fact, isn't it, that whoever happens to be in majority will try and suppress the other voice. You saw it happening at Jamia with Shazia Ilmi. You saw it happening at Jashn-e-Rekhta with Tariq Fateh. You have a point of difference, debate it. What's the point of killing and booting out a person?
I'm completely in sync with you. I think the kind of democracy Nehru had envisaged, and I tell you, Nehru himself was a recipient of such brute criticism. He never avoided it. I don't know what has happened to my nation. It was never so vulnerable.
So what has happened to the nation, Priyanka Chhabri? Is it because one side takes an extreme position,
left, right,
the other
center
is forced to retaliate?
I will tell you what has happened to the nation. It's just that the people who were planning against the nationalist forces, every time they are getting exposed these days. They have been exposed in JNU, and they have been exposed in HCU, and now it's DU. And they talk about freedom of speech and expression. Let me ask you, sir, Shazia Ilmi did not raise any anti-India slogans. Shazia Ilmi did not say that she wants Kashmir ki azadi. Shazia Ilmi did not say that she wants to Afzal ke arman unko pure karne hai. She did not say that, then also she was denied entry in Jamia Islamia. She was restricted in going there. And when it comes to Umar Khalid, all the netas, all the left inclined netas, they come in DU campuses and misguide the youth. Where are you now? Why are you not standing with Shazia Ilmi now, I ask you, sir?
Can I respond to it? I don't want Priyanka. Let me tell you personally to you. You know, I would never subscribe to this kind of politics that somebody is stopped. Let me make it very clear, even from my political party. Number one. Number two, I don't believe, Priyanka, that my youth at 19 or 18, my daughter is going to join Delhi University this year. She has a mind of her own. She fights me on ideological issues. I think so. Let's not say that somebody pollutes or somebody does this to this generation.
Sir, it is not an ordinary issue. It's the issue that relates to the nation. It's the issue that the people who are coming from JNU to DU and speaking about breaking this country apart, speaking about Azadi of Kashmir, speaking about Azadi of Bastar. Sir, how can you say it's just an ordinary issue? The issue relates this country. The issue talks about the sanctity of this nation, and we would not put this at stake, sir. And we do not accept such ideologies in Delhi University or any university for that.
Hindi medium. Priyanka, let's not me and you become the spokesperson for Delhi University.
Sir, I am the spokesperson for Delhi University, sir. I am the vice president of Delhi University Students Union. The students have elected me. 1.5 lakh students have elected me and put me and made me to come at this position, sir.
Priyanka, I tell you, like you, I am also product of a student activism from Delhi University, and I have said this in Aaj Tak a few hours ago that it was a very turbulent phase of Ram Janmabhoomi Babri Masjid movement. But ABVP never ever pelted a stone on me.
So now also ABVP did not pelt any stones in Ramjas College. ABVP was nowhere in the picture in the Ramjas House, sir. That is what I am explaining again and again. ABVP was not there.
Let
it
him
was
finish what he's saying.
And Ramjas College students union. No, he needs to be corrected here.
Let him finish.
Priyanka, a decent conversation means let's listen to each other. This is the beauty of Indian democracy. Let me tell you. Number one, I agree. Anybody who speaks about Azadi of Kashmir, we know integrity and sovereignty issues. But can we not ask about freedom from exploitation, freedom from violation of human rights, whether in Bastar or Kashmir? If you are not able to speak, Priyanka,
sir, but that's what they do not
tomorrow
say.
You will
they very proudly say that they want Azadi of Kashmir, and they do not ever mention. And let me ask you one thing, sir. They say that they want a corruption-free nation. They say they want
Priyanka,
a poverty-free nation. Let me ask you, wherever their ideological government is there, wherever the states that are governed with CPI or whatever, the left ideology, I want to ask how much corruption has been eradicated, how much poverty has been eradicated.
So no, let's not confuse the issue.
Every day in Kerala, ma'am, there is red terrorism. People there are
so
killed,
let's not confuse the issue.
20 seconds.
Manoja, okay. So let me just bring this debate back on track. Let me bring this debate back on track, because now we are going to go about talking about, the things that we actually should have a conversation about. But the fact is that when a Shazia Ilmi is turned away from Jamia, when she is disinvited from a seminar, then we don't see a fraction of the politicians that we saw turning up just yesterday at the Vivekanand statue at Delhi University, going to Jamia and saying, why aren't you allowing this woman inside? She also deserves to be heard. So while I appreciate the fact that you've taken this stand, not too many of your political comrades share your point of view.
He should have gone there.
Hello?
Yes, Mr. Jha.
Hello?
I think you're the lone voice who has spoken up in Shazia's favor. I don't see even a fraction of the politicians who turned up at Vivekanand statue yesterday extending the same kind of support to Shazia Ilmi.
Let me tell you, it suddenly has become a nation divided amongst barricades. It's not about only, I'm worried about my youth. Look, elections we fight. We'll fight BJP politically. But suddenly it's a ghetto kind of arrangement. Left, right and center. And anna jane kya kya aur. What I'm worried about, that suddenly this nation appears alien to me. This university appears alien to me. In this university, in my department, I call people from extreme left to extreme right. I never was pelted with a stone. But I tell you, I'm scared today.
Of who?
Even if I paraphrase Bernie Sanders.
Afraid of who?
Who lost Democratic primaries to Hillary Clinton. I'm worried about the fact.
Sir, who are you afraid of?
I'm worried about the regime. They would brand me anti-national. I had my first sedition case from Congress government in 1989 when I was in
Patna. Why would you be branded anti-national, sir?
Suddenly.
Why would you be branded anti-national?
We are not branding anyone with anti-national, sir. We are not branding anyone. We are nobody to do that. But when people like Umar Khalid come to campuses and raise anti-India slogans, what would you say about that? We have no right. We are not in a position to brand anyone.
Look, he came. First of all, let me tell you, none of the television anchors, they never looked at the schedule of Ramjas College. I know those teachers, they love India no less than Priyanka or me, or for that matter you. But I tell you, they did not look at it. They just looked at the name Umar Khalid. Are we reducing our nation to this level?
No, sir, I don't understand. I'm sorry. What is the allegation that you made? Yes, we know what the schedule was.
Today, if I paraphrase.
No, I'm sorry. I don't understand the point that you're making. But there is a distinction that must be made. When elections are fought, for example, when the students' union elections are fought, there is an ISA, there is an ABVP, there is an NSUI. They raise slogans against each other. They have differences of opinion. No one is charged with sedition. No one is accused of being an anti-national. It is just a different ideology. But to say that Umar Khalid being invited is okay, and especially since his name hadn't been even intimated to the principal of Ramjas College, and this is something the principal has told us himself. Then if objections are raised, sir, I don't think the two issues can be confused.
Can I tell you, I work in Delhi University, and let me tell you the modus operandi. I am the head of the department of this department, Department of Social Work. My colleagues do a seminar. They need not come to me to have a vetting of who is being invited. Where are we reducing this university? University means freedom of expression, free to discuss. You can discuss anything on this earth. And this is what Nehru and Gandhi wanted universities to be. This is the only space, I am telling you, Padmaja, available to us. This space should be available to people so that left, right and center can discuss, disagree and then finally resolve without violence. What worries me for my next generation, for the youth of this country, violence has become the mode of communication. And that is worrisome.
All right, and on that note, let me end by saying that it is absolutely not contested that violence or threatening someone with violence, sexual, verbal or otherwise, cannot be condoned. But having said that, the freedom of expression you talk about, Mr. Jha, does it have limitations? Will it stop at a point where you threaten the country with being broken into pieces? This is something that we've debated over the last 1 year, still haven't found answers for now. Thank you very much, Priyanka and Dr. Manoj Jha, for joining us. In the meantime, Gurmeher has decided to lie low for a while. Speaking to India Today, she said she'll be back. In a bit, she'll be back to her college, but she just wants to be left alone. We did, though, speak to her mother, who said that she has raised Gurmeher to be a person who is not afraid to speak her mind.
Let's now go across to Rajvinder Kaur. She's the mother of Gurmeher. She's joining us on India Today. Ma'am, I want to begin by understanding from you, as a mother, your thoughts and the manner in which you brought up Gurmeher and the kind of ideals you've tried to instill in her.
Actually, Gurmeher, when she is actually a blessing from our very religious Gurdwara Sahib, that is Banda Sahib. So I prayed to that Gurdwara Sahib, and then with the grace of God, I was blessed with my daughter, and that's how I gave her name Guru Meher. So that's how she came in our life. And she's very precious to all of both of us, me and my husband.
It must hurt you to have your daughter being called anti-national by some people, her outburst being questioned by all kinds of people, including those.
Actually, you know what? When you go choose a path out of the way, when you want peace all around. Now, I'm telling you all this just because I know why she wants peace. If she has taken some kind of message she wanted to give us, it was just because she wanted no other child should suffer that pain. And and when any of such kind of incidents, even now it happens. So if such situations happen, she is very deeply hurt because she is deep inside a very emotional child.
So how difficult have the last 48 odd hours been, and how are you as her mother helping her cope with the kind of backlash?
She is very strong individual. She has come out as a very strong woman. And I was telling one of my friends, I used to be worried about if something happens to me, what will happen to my girls. But now I'm very confident if something happens to me, I know my girls will be very strong women and they will survive.
But are you disappointed also with the fact that several cricketers, wrestlers, ministers, all of them have jumped into this and, given a response to just an opinion expressed by a 20-year-old girl?
Sehwag is a senior cricketer and he's an honor of our country, and I always respect him for what he's done for the cricket. They might have felt Gurmeher's expression is different, but Gurmeher is the one who started with her Vande Mataram on telephone instead of hello. And she loves her country equally more. Nothing of sort of anti-nationalist or something. She's got. You can understand how Fauji children are. They are a little ahead of times. They think in a rational way. So that is the reason.
And I'm a Fauji officer's son myself, and so I understand.
Oh.
And it's good to see that you're so positive despite everything that's happened. The one thing that seems to have bothered some people is where she, in one of her slides, seems to be giving a clean chit to Pakistan, saying that, it's not Pakistan that killed my father, war did. How, as a mother, do you look at that particular perspective put out by your daughter?
She had quoted.
All right, so much more on that on Newsroom with Rahul Kamal at 10 p.m. Don't forget to watch it. We're completely out of time on 8 p.m. Thanks for having tuned in. Coming up next is India First.